the work so that I step in as whole as I can, so I can see things and I can enjoy moments.
It might seem like celebrities are living it up because of their status in society, but that's not always the truth. In fact, some celebrities, like television personality and show host Chip and Joanna Gaines, face very difficult challenges. Walking across the street to watch television at their house. Joanna has struggled with medical issues for a long time, and now things appear to be getting worse. Recently, her husband Chip shared that he had to say goodbye after Joanna received a troubling diagnosis. But what exactly is her diagnosis? Can Joanna overcome this new health challenge like she has in the past? Let's find out. Is this baby number 5? Number 5. Congratulations. For months old. Number 5. Sweetest boy. Joanna Gaines' diagnosis and health concerns. The Gaines family has been going through a lot recently, and this is specifically due to the issues with Joanna Gaines' health. Joanna had to undergo a serious surgery in 2022 to address a long-standing back problem. This surgery, called a microdiscectomy, was not her first. It was actually the second time Joanna had to deal with this kind of procedure, which is done to help fix issues with the spine. The spine, or backbone, is very important because it helps people stand up, walk, and move around. But when something goes wrong with the spine, it can cause a lot of pain and problems, and that is what happened to Joanna. The story of Joanna's back problem goes back many years to when she was in high school. She was a cheerleader at that time, and during one of her routines, something went wrong. Cheerleading is a fun and exciting activity, but it also involves a lot of risky moves, like jumping and tossing people in the air. Joanna was involved in a move called a basket toss, where she was thrown into the air by her teammates. Unfortunately, this move did not go as planned, and Joanna ended up with serious back injury. This injury would go on to affect her for the rest of her life. At first, Joanna tried to manage the pain and discomfort caused by her back injury. She was young and probably thought that the pain would go away with time. But as she grew older, the pain did not go away. In fact, it got worse. Joanna continued to push through the pain, going about her daily life and building her career. She and her husband Chip Gaines became famous for their work on home renovation and design, and they even had their own television show, Fixer Upper. However, behind all the success and fame, Joanna was struggling with her back pain. By 2001, Joanna's back pain had become too much to bear. She decided to have her first microdiscectomy surgery. This kind of surgery is meant to help people who are suffering from a condition where a part of their spine, called a disc, is pressing on nearby nerves. This pressure can cause a lot of pain and, in some cases, even make it hard for people to move properly. In Joanna's case, the surgery helped relieve some of the pain by removing the part of the disc that was causing the problem. Although the surgery helped Joanna, it was not a complete fix. Over the years, the pain would come back, and Joanna had to find ways to deal with it. She was busy with her career, her family, and all of her many projects. But as the years went by, the pain in her back continued to be a problem. Then, in 2022, more than 20 years after her first surgery, Joanna found herself facing the same problem again. The pain had returned, and this time she needed another surgery. Joanna's second microdiscectomy came at a very busy time in her life. It was December, and the holiday season was in full swing. The holiday season is usually a very busy time for everyone, but for Joanna, it was even more hectic as a mother of 5 children and a businesswoman with many responsibilities. But like 5 kids? That's a thing. How and what are the ages? They're all under. Joanna had a lot on her plate. On top of taking care of her family, she was also involved in running the Magnolia brand, which includes a variety of businesses, such as a home goods store, a restaurant, and even a magazine. Despite the busy time of year, Joanna knew that she needed to take care of her health. The pain in her back had become too much to handle, and the surgery was necessary. So, Joanna made the decision to go through the procedure, even though it meant slowing down during one of the busiest times of the year. In December 2022, she had her second microdiscectomy, and just like before, the surgery was meant to remove the part of her spine that was causing the pain. After the surgery, Joanna took some time to rest and recover. Recovery from a surgery like this can take some time, and it is important for people to give their bodies a chance to heal properly. For Joanna, This time of recovery was not just about healing her body, but also about taking a break from the fast-paced life she had been living. In many ways, the surgery forced her to slow down and focus on her health, something she had not always done in the past. Joanna shared her recovery journey with her fans on social media. She posted a picture of herself in a hospital bed, wearing sunglasses and flashing a peace sign. Even though she was in the hospital and recovering from surgery, Joanna's positive attitude shone through. She explained to her followers that the surgery was necessary because of the injury she had suffered many years ago, and she thanked them for their support and well wishes. In her post, Joanna also talked about how the surgery gave her a chance to slow down and reflect on her life. She mentioned how busy the holiday season usually is for her and her family, with all the hustle and bustle that comes with running a business and taking care of her children. But because of the surgery, Joanna had to take a step back from all of that and focus on her recovery. In a way, she saw this as a blessing in disguise. It gave her the opportunity to rest, recharge, and think about what really mattered in her life. Joanna's openness about her surgery and recovery resonated with many people. Fans and followers from all over the world sent her messages of support and shared their own stories of dealing with health challenges. Joanna's willingness to share her struggles helped to create a sense of community among her followers. Many people could relate to the idea of having to slow down and take care of their health even when life gets busy. Through her recovery, Joanna also reminded people about the importance of self-care. In today's world, it is easy to get caught up in the demands of work, family, and other responsibilities. Joanna's surgery also showed the physical challenges that can come with long-term health problems. Even though she is a successful businesswoman and a public figure, Joanna is also human. She has had to deal with pain and health issues just like anyone else. Her experience showed that no matter how successful someone may appear on the outside, they may still be dealing with struggles behind the scenes. In the weeks following her surgery, Joanna's fans continued to send her messages of support. Many people thanked her for being so open about her struggles and for reminding them that it is okay to take a break when needed. Joanna's honesty about her surgery and recovery helped to strengthen the bond she shares with her followers, showing that even in difficult times, it is possible to stay positive and find strength in community. But her back-related health issue isn't the only serious condition that has landed Joanna in the hospital. She had previously had pregnancy complications that many were scared would be dangerous to her health. But what exactly was this pregnancy complication? Let's get into it. Joanna's difficult pregnancy struggles. Back in 2018, Joanna shared some very exciting news with the world. She and her husband Chip Gaines were expecting their 5th child. This was a joyful announcement that many people celebrated. Fans of Joanna and Chip, who had followed their journey on their show Fixer Upper and their various businesses, were thrilled to hear that they were growing their family. The news came as a happy surprise because Joanna and Chip already had 4 children, and it had been a few years since their youngest child was born. The Gaines family was about to welcome another little one into their lives, and everyone was excited for them. Joanna shared the news of her pregnancy on social media. In the post, she included an ultrasound image of the baby, which is something many expecting parents do to share the first picture of their little one with friends and family. The ultrasound image shows the baby growing inside the mother's womb, and it is a special moment for many parents. Joanna's fans were quick to congratulate her and Chip, flooding their social media with messages of love and support. It seemed like everything was going perfectly, but in all the excitement and celebration, some fans noticed something unusual in the ultrasound image that Joanna had posted. A few very observant followers pointed out that there seemed to be an excess of fluid around the baby in the ultrasound picture. This observation led some people to raise concerns about the health of the baby. In particular, some fans began to worry that the excess fluid could be a sign of a condition known as hydrops fetalis. Hydrops fetalis is a serious medical condition that occurs when there is an abnormal amount of fluid buildup in 2 or more areas of a fetus's body. This condition can cause a lot of complications, and in some cases, it can be life-threatening. The excess fluid can build up around the baby's organs, such as a heart, lungs, or skin, and it can make it difficult for the baby to survive. As more and more people began to speculate about the possibility of hydrops fetalis, the conversation around Joanna's pregnancy shifted from celebration to concern. Fans were anxious, and wanted to know more about what was going on. Some of them expressed their fears on social media, asking Joanna and Chip for updates and sending their thoughts and prayers for the health of the baby. It was clear that people cared deeply about the Gaines family and wanted to support them during this time. In response to the growing concern, a doctor named Nicole Safier, who is a radiologist at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, stepped in to offer some clarity. Dr. Safier explained that while there did appear to be some excess fluid in the ultrasound image, it did not necessarily mean that the baby had hydrops fetalis. She emphasized that ultrasounds can sometimes show things that look concerning, but are not always a sign of a serious problem. According to Dr. Safier, it was important not to jump to conclusions based solely on the ultrasound image. She reassured fans that while it was good to be cautious, it was also important to remember that not every unusual finding leads to a critical diagnosis. Dr. Safier's explanation helped to calm some of the fears surrounding Joanna's pregnancy. There's something in the air that makes him want to do something. While concerns about hydrops fetalis were not completely dismissed, her words provided some hope that things might not be as serious as they seemed. Joanna and Chip did not immediately comment on concerns, but they continued to move forward with their pregnancy, holding on to hope and trusting in their medical team, and breathe a whole lot better. Throughout the pregnancy, Joanna continued to share updates with her fans. She remained positive and focused on her family, even as the world watched closely for any signs of trouble. Joanna and Chip were no strangers to being in the public eye, but this was a very personal and sensitive time for them. Despite the challenges and concerns, they tried to keep a hopeful outlook, trusting that their baby would be born healthy. The timing of the pregnancy also came during a period of significant change for the Gaines family. Just a few months earlier, in October 2017, Joanna and Chip had announced that they were ending their popular television show, Fixer Upper, after 5 successful seasons. They made the difficult decision to step away from the show in order to focus on their family and personal life. They wanted to spend more time with their 4 children, Drake, Ella, Duke, and Emmy Kay, and prepare for the arrival of their 5th child. The decision to leave the show was not easy, but Joanna and Chip felt it was a right choice for their family. As the months passed, Joanna's pregnancy progressed, and fans continued to follow her journey. Everyone was eagerly awaiting the arrival of the new baby, and despite the initial concerns about the ultrasound, there were no major updates to suggest that the pregnancy was in serious trouble. Joanna and Chip remained hopeful, and their fans continued to offer their support and well wishes. Then, in June 2018, the moment everyone had been waiting for arrived. Joanna and Chip's 5th child, a baby boy named Crew Gaines, was born. The news of Crew's birth was met with joy and relief. Despite all the concerns and fears that had been raised earlier in the pregnancy, Crew was born healthy and strong. The Gaines family was overjoyed, and they shared their happiness with their fans. Joanna took to social media once again to announce the birth of Crew and to thank everyone for their love and support during the pregnancy. She shared photos of the newborn baby and expressed her gratitude for the safe arrival of her 5th child. The family's fans were thrilled to see the happy news and to know that the baby was healthy. After Crew's birth, Joanna continued to keep her fans updated on his progress. She frequently posted pictures and updates about Crew's milestones, celebrating each new moment with her growing family. Crew quickly became a beloved member of the Gaines family, and fans loved seeing him grow up alongside his older siblings. Despite the early concerns about his health, Crew thrived. About raising a family for kids 12 under, and the Gaines family felt blessed to have him in their lives. As a result of these complicated health challenges, Chip and Joanna Gaines made a very big decision. They realized that they needed to slow down their public life and focus more on their family. For many years, they had been in the spotlight, working hard on their television show Fixer Upper and building their business, Magnolia. While they loved their work and were grateful for the success they had achieved, they also knew that it was time to step back and think about what mattered most. Chip and Joanna both realized that their health was something they could not take for granted. They had been working at a very fast pace for a long time, juggling multiple responsibilities at once. While they loved being busy and productive, they also knew that this lifestyle was not sustainable in the long run. They wanted to make sure they were healthy, not just for themselves, but also for their children. One of the biggest reasons they decided to shift their focus toward family and wellness was their 5 children. Chip and Joanna are parents to Drake, Ella, Duke, Emike, and Crew. As their children grew older, they realized that they needed to be more present in their lives. The demands of their careers had sometimes taken them away from their family, and they wanted to make sure they were there for all the important moments. They knew that their children were growing up quickly, and they did not want to miss out on spending time with them. Drake, their oldest, was getting closer to adulthood, and Crew, their youngest, was still just a little boy. They wanted to be there for their kids, to guide them, and to be role models for them. That's not all. Another big part of their decision was their desire to continue evolving their Magnolia brand. Magnolia had become very successful, but Chip and Joanna knew that they wanted it to grow in a way that aligned with their values. They wanted Magnolia to be more than just a business. They wanted it to reflect the things that were important to them, like family, community, and well-being. This meant being thoughtful about the projects they took on and making sure that everything they did with Magnolia was in line with their priorities in their personal lives. Chip and Joanna also began to prioritize their physical health. They had both experienced health challenges over the years, and they knew that taking care of their bodies was essential for their long-term well-being. They started paying more attention to their diets, making sure they were eating nutritious foods that would give them the energy they needed to keep up with their busy lives. They also made time for exercise, recognizing that staying active was important not just for their physical health, but also for their mental health. Mental health was another area where Chip and Joanna placed a lot of focus. They understood that mental well-being was just as important as physical health, and they wanted to make sure they were taking care of their minds as well as their bodies. They also made time for activities that brought them joy and helped them feel connected to one another and their children. These small but important changes helped them feel more balanced and less overwhelmed by the demands of their work and public life. As they focused more on their family and wellness, Chip and Joanna continued to share their journey with their fans. They were open about the challenges they had faced and the lessons they had learned along the way. So, what do you think about these serious health conditions that Joanna Gaines has faced? Let us know in the comment section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the following video shown on your screen. You will enjoy it.